Hi, everybody. It's Kelly from Steamy Chick, and I have Megan Sinclair with me. And I'm making this little video because one thing that I noticed is that there are a lot of estheticians that are becoming vaginal steam facilitators. And the only reason why I know what an esthetician is because my friend Megan became an esthetician like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, a really long time ago. And I was like, what's an esthetician? And she was like, we do skincare. And I was like, okay, nice. So, so since there were a lot of estheticians that are now becoming, certified vaginal steam facilitators, I talked to Megan about it. Now, Megan is one of my best friends. And when she was having some period problems, I recommended that she did vaginal steaming, and they actually resolved her problems right away. And so she's been steaming almost since I've been steaming, which is like 4 or 5 years now. And then she also used it to help to induce her labor, and she also used it postpartum to recover from her labor. So then we started to talk about vaginal steaming and skincare, and we actually both noticed that our skin got better after vaginal steaming, which was a conversation we hadn't really, had. But then we started to talk about vaginal steaming when it comes to skincare. And what came out of it was I asked Megan if she would actually do a course specifically for estheticians who are vaginal steam facilitators to learn how to use vaginal steaming not only to address period problems, but to learn vaginal steaming to address skincare problems. And so Megan basically took this idea and ran with it. I was like, you just need to cover, like 1, 2, 3 things in there. And then like she wrote this course where she just went into so many details and talked about so many things that I couldn't even fathom, obviously, because I'm not an esthetician. And so the course is ready. The course is ready. And so I actually haven't even had a chance to go over the course yet. But what I wanted to do is ask Megan some questions about the course. But before we get into the course too much, I just wanted, Megan, for you to just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background as an esthetician.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I've been an esthetician since 2006, which makes it, 12 years or something like that. And I was educated in Hawaii at a really amazing school that unfortunately is closed now, but they were, which I kind of go through this in my course, it was really holistically based. So I feel really blessed to have had that background. And then I went on to get further education in California and further education in all kinds of stuff, esthetician related. And then, that's the background of it. And
okay.
Then,
Yeah, I remember when you went to school, you were like, basically we're like kitchen witches. What was it? What do you call it?
Oh, that's right. Skincare witches. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
skincare witches. Because like, I remember.
all the Hawaiian products and making, making stuff for our face. Yeah. Doing the mud masks at the beaches.
One time you came over to my house, I think it was like, I forget why. It was somebody's birthday or somebody's something. And you came over to my house when I lived in LA over on like in Palms neighborhood. And you and Angelique brought, Angelique's her cousin. You guys brought like chocolate and oatmeal and yogurt, and you guys like made facials for everybody. I just remember it was amazing. Yeah, and I remember you talking about how you guys were basically witches now because you guys would take from the kitchen for skincare. Anyways, okay, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So
it's a play never had.
What? So yeah, okay. So okay, so I remember we were having a conversation and we both mentioned hormonal acne. We mentioned hormonal acne. That was something that you had noticed you used to have and that you don't have anymore. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So, in school, we used to call them, I don't know, like knots. I think I got that word from my mom, like just like knots right here. And it wouldn't happen all the time. It would only happen every now and then. Of course, now when I think back on it, it was periodically. related to the period. And then they just disappeared. And of course I would mess with it, and you know, because you can't see it on the outside, it was like I felt like my chin was jutting out, and then it would create a scar, and until the next month when it happened again, or a month and a half later, because back then my periods were really long until Kelly took control. But then they were gone after steaming, the first time steaming. I haven't had it since, and that's been what, you know, five years now. And otherwise I didn't have any problems with acne. It was just that.
Yeah. Okay. So Megan mentioned that, right? And then when you mentioned that, I realized I actually used to have the same thing. I never had acne, but I did used to get a big knot every once in a while, right before my period. And I remember asking, I don't remember who I asked about it, but somebody was like, oh, well, that's called adult acne. You know, sometimes adults do get acne and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And so I was just like, oh, bummer. Okay. You know, and so it was also on the chin area. And so, ever since I've been vaginal steaming, I haven't had that either. I haven't had one of those in years and years. So anyway,
yeah, you used to get them up here too.
Okay.
That would happen too. That's gone. Totally gone.
Okay. Yeah, so basically what we realized once we talked about it is that vaginal steaming had actually solved our skincare issues. But one of the keys is that this area, when women get acne in this area, it's a sign of a hormonal imbalance. And so that's why it might be common for people to get it in this area, for girls to get it in this area. And so it was pretty cool to find out that through the regular steaming that actually went away. So the implications of that are awesome, because it looks like you can actually use vaginal steaming itself to address, you know, skincare issues. So along those lines, I know that you researched it. What, when you are teaching the course, you were talking about what skincare issues can be resolved with vaginal steaming. What did you come up with?
When the idea was born for the course, and you told me about it, of course, that's when I became so enamored with the idea of what, not just hormonal acne, but what else it can do.
Yeah.
So I was pouring through all the responses that Steamy Chick was getting, all the Facebook groups, kind of like commenting and asking people that I know who have steamed, and gathering as much data as I can, of course, going back through all my education and personal experience, did I ever say friends that I knew, and their experience, practitioners, asking. So what I have come up with, the different skincare issues that can be addressed. Of course, we talked about hormonal acne. Rosacea can help, or it can help with rosacea, dry skin, premature aging, mature skin. Am I missing something? I said dry skin. I feel like those are the ones that we covered, and even teen acne. And there are also some other skin issues that I'm still researching, but since I don't have definitive evidence, I haven't put that in the course yet, but I'm really curious about something that's personal to me, melasma and hyperpigmentation. And I think we're going to find, that's, like I said, that's not in the course yet, but I think we're going to find really good results in that, because that's very hormonal. Of course, I think everything's hormonal with women. So even when we're talking about rosacea and dry skin and premature aging, I know, everybody says, well, it's not related to hormones. Well, I think it is, because we are hormonal. It's not just once a month that we're hormonal. Everything's related to the hormones.
Wow. So interesting. Okay. I love it. I love it when you say that. Okay. So now, so for estheticians who are doing vaginal steaming, how is it going to work? Like, do estheticians need to take special measurements when it comes to, or special precaution when it comes to waxing as well, in addition to steaming?
Yeah, what we found was it can't, well, of course it can help with, when estheticians do facials, for example, we also incorporate the waxing of the eyebrows, and there's steaming involved. That's why it actually happened when just a couple people started popping up saying, oh, I've been doing it for, bikini waxing. So yeah, steaming can be very helpful with bikini waxing. A lot of women are prone to ingrown hairs and they do bikini waxing, and then it really just makes the whole process totally unfun because you want to make
Yeah.
it all clean and nice, and then all of a sudden you've got all these ingrown hairs. And steaming works to help that because it, you know, it cleanses out the pores and all the dirty stuff that's going on within there. So, and that's not just, we're talking at the superficial level, what steaming can do at the superficial level of the skin. I'm not talking about doing, you know, a major steam here, but that's all
Okay.
outlined in the course.
Okay, so just the big
Or
question that everybody's wondering, do you steam on the same time, the same appointment as a wax, or you don't?
steaming for the waxing, or are we talking about steaming?
If somebody's scheduling a wax and they also want to schedule a steam, do you schedule them on the same day or different days?
If you want to do a full steam when you're talking about clearing skin problems or period problems, you do not want to do it on the same day.
Okay, so they're going to end up.
It's too much for the skin. Yeah, yeah.
And you'll talk about that more in the course. But I know anybody who's an esthetician who's watching this just wants to know right away. Okay, and then do you cover like any information like insurance or like pricing, anything like that in the course?
Yeah, I do go through that. And what's interesting about that is there's just no hard and fast rule for either. The discussion on insurance is changing daily for vaginal steam. You know, there's insurance for people who do Reiki healing and, or, you know, womb healing and stuff like that. But specifically for vaginal steam, no, not yet. And that is, people have different opinions, different experiences, and they get on the phone, talk to insurances. And I've been on the phone talking to insurances, and the answer is different all the time. So
Okay.
what I do is go through everything that you might encounter and how you can do your best to get covered. And then aside, there's ideas of, there's so many of us and we're doing all kinds of facials, but I definitely go through as much as I can.
Cool.